Boston Children's Hospital is facing a barrage of threats tonight over a false social media post. A far-right social media account attacked the hospital's gender-affirming healthcare, falsely claiming it performs hysterectomies on minors. Well, for fact's sake, the American Academy of Pediatrics describes gender-affirming care for children as the integration of medical, mental health, and social services. But the Boston Hospital denies performing gender-affirming surgery on any patient younger than 18. That still has not stopped the dangerous threats and disinformation. Here's what one doctor at another Boston hospital had to say about it.
It's been very hard for me over the years to care for LGBTQ youth and engage in, what is really the standard of care, evidence-based treatment, and then to have people throw terms around like pedophile or child abuser. And now I see this happening to my colleagues, and it's really heartbreaking to watch happen.
Heartbreaking and dangerous. Let's bring in Tracy Walder, former CIA officer and FBI agent. She's the author of the book, The Unexpected Spy. Tracy, this is not an isolated incident. What on earth is working these people up to such a frenzy that they'd want to threaten a children's hospital over a social post?
Well, thank you so much for having me. I think it is sort of the intersection of a bunch of different things. I think you have COVID exacerbated people's access to online and the time that people spent online. And through those online channels, far right, far left, whatever, they kind of went further down the rabbit hole. But I think what's also really important, we talk about the influence of social media and these folks becoming radicalized, but we really don't talk about the factors that really get them to this point, that get them to become radicalized. And really the biggest factor is this quest for significance. So a lot of these folks felt like their lives don't matter. They didn't have an impact in what they were doing. And they found a sense of purpose in these actions. And then I think the second kind of factor is the permission to use violence. We're hearing this whole discussion about this pending civil war and to take up arms. And they're feeling like they have the permission to do that. And then, finally, we're looking at community or people that kind of support that use of violence. And, we saw Senator Grassley talking about the hiring of the 87,000 IRS agents and to, take up arms. They're going to come at you with AR-15s. And I think this is really causing this pervasive amount of threats, all different venues.
But no one gave this movement permission to be violent. Just ask the insurrectionists. Would you then call this, what we're seeing, domestic terrorism, a threat of domestic terrorism?
So in my personal opinion, I do believe that they are domestic terrorists. Really, I worked at the CIA, I worked at the FBI, and, I spent a lot of time, my background was in working counterterrorism. And the reality is everyone is radicalized for the most part in the same way. It doesn't matter what you believe, who you are, what your gender is, and what your religion is. And really, if we look up what domestic terrorism is, it's violent criminal acts committed by individuals and groups to really further ideological goals. And that's what's going on here. They have ideological goals, whether it's the children's hospitals, whether it's abortion clinics, whether it's 1-6. These are ideological goals that stem from politics, religion, and social beliefs.
They do stem from politics. And when you go back down the path, they stem from right-wing media and the GOP. Former CIA Director Michael Hayden just yesterday agreed online that today's Republican Party is the most dangerous political force he has ever seen. Do you agree with that? I mean, that's a heavy statement from the former head of the CIA.
So I actually do agree with that. I've had a lot of time to really kind of reflect on that. I don't want to, use that lightly in terms of how I feel. But the thing is when we see senators, so, sitting members that were elected to these offices really encourage these conspiracy theories, I think that's where we've seen this shift. The reality is the deep state has existed since the formation, really, of our country. And these ideas have existed, but they've always been on the fringes. But now we have this, I guess, mainstream validation of them really solely by the Republican Party. And I have to agree with General Hayden here.
So if you're law enforcement right now, how difficult is it to monitor and track these threats. They're coming from everywhere. They're based on lies, and they could pop up in any given place. I mean, a children's hospital based on a social media post?
So, you're absolutely right. I think it's incredibly difficult. And this sounds really disconcerting, but it's almost impossible to monitor all of these. It's almost like playing a game of whack-a-mole. You shut down one site. I saw that Libs of TikTok their account was suspended on Facebook today, but you shut that down, and then they just find another platform to be on. And so the reality is we can only track what we know. And so there's so many websites out there that we just don't know exist. And, unless it's really brought to the attention of law enforcement, it becomes extremely difficult to track that.
It is a difficult time to be in law enforcement, that is for sure. Tracy Walder, thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you.